Hi everyone, it's Maria here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are actually going to be moving from the kitchen to the work table. We're going to be doing some centerpieces, or you can use them as fall decor for your home. I did have a different intro recorded. Unfortunately, I don't know what I did, but anyway, so I'm recording on my phone. So I do want to make sure that I at least reach out, say hello, and I am really grateful that you guys are still watching. But hang in there, I'll show you the three different centerpieces. One is going to be in a square little box, the other one is round, and the final one will be like a small wreath. So anyway, again, thank you so much for watching, and without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the square centerpiece. These are some floral picks that I had laying around. I believe they originally came from Michael's. This is from the Dollar Tree over in their gift bag section. The majority of the items are from the Dollar Tree, like this ribbon and this little scarecrow. That's all from a prior project, but all from the Dollar Tree from this year, and you can still find them. I've seen them. Little floral foam. And then of course the pipe cleaners, will be using those to kind of tie things down. And this is also from this year, little glittery pumpkins. Now this did not come from the Dollar Tree, but they do carry some wide mesh such as this, so you can do that or look for one maybe at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. These paints came from Walmart, and I'm going to be using three colors. I'm going to be using King's Gold, the Nutmeg Brown, and the Hot Rod Red. And what I'm going to do is mix those colors together to paint the box. And I'm just going to do like one coat of it. I want to still see a little bit of the lines coming through, but I'm just using this little lead from a little leftover container. And like I said, I'm going to mix these colors just to make like a little rust color to cover the box up with. Okay, so like I mentioned, I'm using three colors. The first one was the Hot Rod Red. This is the Nutmeg Brown. And then the third color I'll be mixing in is called the King's Gold. And again, it's personal preference, but again, I'm trying to come up with like a rusty red color. And so I'm just going to mix these together and apply that to the box. And since I'm only doing one layer on the box, it really doesn't take a whole lot of paint. So I didn't mix as much as what could have been, but this is what it looks like when I'm done. And like I said, I wanted the little lines to kind of shine through, even though I am going to put a ribbon around it, but it kind of gives it a little dimension instead of just one flat color. Okay, so now that it's dry, I'm going to be using a ribbon. I actually had a piece already cut, and it just so happened to go all the way around, so that worked out really nice. But again, you're just going to measure it and then hot glue that down. And remember that little scarecrow I showed you? I'm going to end up putting that right in front of the little seam, so it's okay that it's not perfectly cut, so I'm not worried about that. And if you want to add some more glue along the sides, you can do that. I just dabbed it right where it was. I'm going to go ahead and add these rocks inside the box since it's very lightweight, just to add some weight to it. And then my floral foam just pops right in there. It just happened to fit exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little floral pick and just cut all the flowers off. Okay, and I'm going to start with the middle. And that one I'm going to set just a little bit higher than all the rest. And then of course I'm just going to cut these a little bit shorter since they are going to sit a little lower. And I'm going to put one on every corner of the box, or I should say the floral foam. Okay, so now that we've added all of our flowers, we're going to go ahead and start filling in the middle. I'm taking these leaves, just going to cut them off of the pick, and I'm going to add it on each side of the center flower, just to kind of start filling that in. Okay, now I'm going to take another set of leaves, and this is kind of like an orangey color, give it that really cool fall vibe. Okay, so as you can tell, it's starting to fill in. So I'm going to go ahead and take some other similar colored picks. One has like these little pretty berries on it, and the other one is just another flower, same as the other, but more of an orangey color. And we're just going to start filling in some of these gaps. Okay, so now I'm going to use these little glittery pumpkins. I'm going to take one and sit it next to the flower in the middle, just about the same height, and the other one I'm going to set it opposite side but a lot lower. Now it's really starting to fill in. It looks really pretty. Now I'm going to take these pine cones. I actually found them in my backyard, but they do have pine cones at the Dollar Tree, and they're all over the like Hobby Lobby and Michael's. So if you happen to not have them at your Dollar Tree, you can always go to other places. Okay, so this is really starting to look good. We do have some gaps now down at the bottom, so we're going to go ahead and use our mesh. Okay, so I'm going to show you something really easy that will help fill that in. You're just going to fold this over about 3 or 4 times. Okay, and then you're just going to go ahead and cut that right off. Okay, and then all you're going to do is just gather it in the middle. Kind of gives it that little rose effect. So go ahead and take a little piece of pipe cleaner and then just tie that down the middle. Okay, and then you just want to kind of spread those out, kind of give it a little fullness. Okay, and then all we're going to do is just find some little gaps and put those right in. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue those in, even though I left a little bit of the pipe cleaner exposed so that I can push that into the floral foam, but it's a little tight in there, so I just want to make sure that it stays. And look at it, almost looks like a little rose. So just go ahead and do that throughout your arrangement until you're satisfied with the look. Okay, so I've gone ahead and filled it in with the mesh. And as you can tell, it just really did a nice job filling in those gaps. So now I'm going to take my little scarecrow, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to use it to cover up the seam on the ribbon, and I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue that right into place. And there you have it. This is the first centerpiece, or if you want it as home decor, you can do that as well. Okay, so this is going to be the second centerpiece, and this is a round one. And this is extremely easy. You're going to be surprised. Okay, so you've seen these little pumpkins over at the Dollar Tree, right? They're very lightweight styrofoam, and they're actually hollow in the middle, so they're very light. So let's go ahead and get this ready. We'll go ahead and snip off the little tag and then take the stem off. And it's really just held together with a toothpick, quite honestly. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just cut a little hole in the center so that we can fill it with some rocks. Now again, this is a very lightweight styrofoam, so don't go crazy trying to cut it really fast, because other than I'm using a fast speed here, so it does look like I am doing that. But see, you can tell it's not very thick. So let's just go ahead and add some weight to this. and that's much better. Okay, so I have these little burlap daisies, I guess the Gerber daisies. I'm just gonna go ahead and use that as my main flower for this arrangement. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these little picks off of there. And I'm going to start in the center as I did last time, but of course we've got that little hole, so it's just gonna be just off to the center. Then I'm going to do that on the opposite side. Now because this is going to be a round one, I'm not going to have a lot of flowers sticking up very high. I just kind of want to keep it in like a bubbly type shape. And then the rest of the picks that I'm going to be using are these beautiful fall leaves. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just take these little fall leaf picks and just start placing them into the little pumpkin. And that pumpkin is really cool because you can just use that as your floral foam. So if you happen to see some, go ahead and pick up more than one. That way you can do some Christmas ones as well. Okay, so see the seam on that pumpkin? Make sure that when you place your picks that you place them on the side of those. You certainly don't want to do it right down the middle of that seam because you could potentially split it. Again, it is a lightweight styrofoam, so again, you just want to play it safe. So the nice thing about this pumpkin arrangement is that we're covering up the entire pumpkin, and you don't have to worry about painting it unless of course you have a different design in mind and you want to go ahead and paint it because you don't want it to shine through. So let's go ahead and move on to our next step. Now again, we're going to use that mesh that we used earlier, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to fold it, and then we're going to cut that, and then again, of course, we're going to use our little pipe cleaner and form that same type of little rose design, and just pop those right into the little gaps that we've got to start covering this up. Now I did use a little toothpick trying to make a little hole to push that in there, but it is much easier just to hot glue those right into place. See, just kind of fluff it out and start filling it in. Okay, so look how pretty that's looking. All right, now we still have some gaps, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did the last time. I'm just going to use the little pine cones that I have. If you want to add a little more glimmer to it, you can always add some glitter onto there. It's completely up to you. I'm just going to go ahead and add these little pine cones right in there just the way they are. Okay, and there you have it. That is your finished product. So that is the round centerpiece. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the third one, which is actually a wreath. And this one is so easy. Okay, so at the Dollar Tree, they have these wreath forms, and they're actually some mini wreath forms, and they come two to a pack. So we're only going to use one, and they have these loose fall leaves. Now I did use them in a prior video, so I will link those below if you want to see that. But I will go ahead and just hot glue these individual leaves all around the wreath. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun. It is much easier to put the glue on the wreath form itself, and then just lay the leaves right on top of it. And there's no rhyme or reason, it's just whatever makes you feel happy. They have beautiful colors. They've got the yellow, the red, the green. They're really pretty. So just go ahead and hot glue those all the way around. Okay, and this is what it looks like once it's done. Okay, and then I'm also going to hot glue now again with the pine cones. I happened to have lucked out that day and found a whole bunch of them. So let's go ahead and hot glue these on there. Okay, so now that you've done that, we are going to go ahead and add these beautiful little leaf lights. I love it. They're battery operated. So all you're going to do is just pull these out, and there is a little battery pack. It's held together with a tiny little screw. So just take that off, insert your batteries, and you are good to go. Oh my gosh, aren't these so cute? I just love them. Okay, so all we're going to do is now hot glue our battery pack to the back. And the plastic container is pretty thick, so it doesn't do anything to the batteries themselves. And it works out really nice. It just fits snugly on the back of that form. So the next step is just to go ahead and take our wire and just weave it in and out of the wreath. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and arrange the lights in place how you would like to see them. And you can see that little battery pack isn't going anywhere, so this is looking really good. So I went ahead and turned off the lights so we can keep going. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use the mesh again. So I'm going to fold it a little differently. Instead of a wider fold, I'm going to use something a little more narrow, about 1 inch wide, maybe 1.5 inches, and then just fold it over several times. Okay, I think it was like 5 times, so just go ahead and cut that. And I am going to take a little piece of the pipe cleaner, but instead of putting the pipe cleaner right down the middle, I'm going to bunch it at the bottom and then tie almost like a little knot around it. So as you can see there, I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And then I'm going to snip off the rest of the little pipe cleaner and then hot glue that into place. So it's a little bit smaller, kind of goes with the smaller arrangement that we're working with. Okay, so remember the little orange glittery pumpkins? So I've got 2 of them left, and I'm going to go ahead and use those for the arrangement. So let's go ahead and snip off the little pick, and we're just going to use the pumpkin itself, and we're just going to go ahead and hot glue those right into place. Okay, so this is looking really good. Now next what I'm going to do is add these acorns. I found these at the bank the other day. They were all over the ground, so I picked a whole bunch of them up. And as you can see, the caps had fallen off, so I just went ahead and hot glued them, and then I'm just going to add them to the wreath. Now you can paint these, you can add glitter to them, it's completely up to you. If you don't have them in your backyard like I do, then you can easily just find them at Hobby Lobby. I've seen them there. I've actually seen them a little bigger, and I've also seen them at Michael's. So they are at the craft stores, it's just a matter of looking. Okay, so if you want to finish up with your centerpiece just the way it is, you can do that. You can add a candle in the middle. I'm actually going to add a bow, so I am using this ribbon, and this comes from the Dollar Tree. So let's go ahead and show you. I'm going to show you a very easy way to make a ribbon. So we're going to go ahead and unwind this, and we're going to fold it up, I want to say in about 5 inches wide. No, 4, because it is small. And we're just going to loop it around, and I'm just pretty much going to use what's left of my ribbon, so you can make this as fluffy as you want. So this, I believe, went around 3 times. All right, and then you're going to take the pipe cleaner and then tie that right down the middle. Similar to the mesh, you're just going to scrunch it down the middle and then place that little wire on there and then tie it in the back. Really tight. Now I am leaving the wires kind of long, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So let's go ahead and fluff out our bow. And this is just your basic bow. So as long as you've got the wired ribbon, that makes it very easy to make. And you can, like I said, fold it over multiple times. You can make it as big or as small as you want. And then what I'm going to do is use that for the middle. And I left the wires long, so what I'm going to do is turn the wreath over, and then I'm going to go ahead and tie that to the form itself. So that way it'll stay in place. They are a little short, so I ended up having to use another little piece of wire just to hold it into place. I was having a little bit of a hard time with that wire, but I finally got it to sit in place, and then just tied it to the edge of the form, and then that will be it. Once it's done, your bow is in the middle. Now again, you can leave it as it is. You can add a candle in the middle. And the nice thing about this wired ribbon, you can just bend the edges the way you want it to so that it takes the form that you want. So once you have that bow in place, I still wanted to go ahead and add a little bit more, which I could have easily have stopped right there, but I did have a couple more pine cones, so I just went ahead and hot glue those into right next to the bow. Okay, and there you have it. It's absolutely beautiful. Use it as a centerpiece or as home decor. You've got these beautiful arrangements that you can use all throughout the fall season and into Thanksgiving. I just absolutely love how these all turned out, and extremely inexpensive. So I hope these inspire you to make something fun. Thanks again for watching. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. And if you have any ideas or something that you'd like me to try out, definitely let me know. I would love to try something different or new. I keep seeing these little gnomes. I might actually try something like that. But I do have a lot of ideas and little video plans out for Christmas decor, which happens to be one of my favorite holidays. So I'm really excited about that. So again, tag me on Instagram if you make anything, or just leave a comment below and let me know what you like. All right, thanks so much for watching. Bye. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Love you all. Until next time.